What's up, Taiwan? Good evening. I'm Erika Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. A senior U.S. Navy official says China has the capability to blockade Taiwan. Vice Admiral Carl Thomas, commander of U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet, made the comments to the Wall Street Journal. His remarks come just days after President Joe Biden said that U.S. troops would come to Taiwan's defense if attacked. James Chater reports.
He's commander of the US Navy fleet responsible for the Indo-Pacific region. And in an interview with American newspaper The Wall Street Journal, Vice Admiral Carl Thomas said China has the capacity to blockade Taiwan. Thomas told the outlet that China has a very large navy, and if they want to bully and put ships around Taiwan, they very much can do that. The interview comes as American think tank CSIS published a report on Chinese policy toward Taiwan, for which they surveyed 64 leading experts. From that survey, 52% think it is likely that China will deliberately escalate its use of force short of invasion against Taiwan in the next 10 years. That includes tactics like a blockade. Just 4% think it is unlikely.
This is not going to be a sign of displeasure. If there's a blockade, it's very likely that that is an attempt to coerce Taiwan into conceding to become part of the People's Republic of China without fighting.
Thomas's interview was published just days after US President Joe Biden stirred debate by saying Washington would defend Taiwan if China attacked.
Would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion.
Yes.
Appearing to contradict the US policy of not stating clearly whether they would offer Taiwan military support. China claims Taiwan as part of its territory and has threatened to take it by force, despite the Chinese Communist Party having never ruled the island. Concerns over a Chinese blockade were heightened after US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan in August. Beijing responded by conducting live fire drills in 6 locations around Taiwan's mainland, which analysts viewed as simulating a blockade. Experts in Taiwan believe a real blockade would compel other countries into action.
The
speed of China's military modernization has heightened concerns over its desire to take Taiwan. And the US Admiral's words are warning that China may be able to achieve its goal without a shot being fired. Karma Xu and James Chater for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan conducted nationwide earthquake drills on Wednesday, designed to prepare the country in case of another emergency like last weekend's shocks. 2 alerts were sent to mobile phones to test Taiwan's early warning systems. Every phone in the country received the first message warning of an earthquake, and a few minutes later, people near the coast received a second alert about a potential tsunami. Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen watched the drill in person. She visited a school for children with disabilities in the eastern county of Hualien, where 2 powerful earthquakes struck this weekend. The president encouraged people to remain alert.
今天凌晨到刚刚又发生了多起有感的地震啊。那么这次的地震再一次的提醒我们，要随时提高警觉，同时要透过演练提升我们自助的能力。
The weekend's earthquake and aftershocks were a timely reminder of the threats Taiwan faces from seismic activity, while Wednesday marks 23 years since Taiwan's deadliest quake in decades, known as the Jiji earthquake or 921. More than 2,000 people were killed, prompting a rethink of Taiwan's resilience to big tremors. As Rick Glaut reports, the lessons learned in 1999 are as relevant as ever.
It's been over 2 decades, but 40-year-old Ms. Huang still vividly recalls Taiwan's last great quake. She was in high school when the 7.3 trembler hit in 1999, killing more than 2,000 people.
我真是幸运，当时的我还在跟学姐讨论我们要不要回学校，可是离我们这么近的地方有一整栋大楼倒了，有人压在里面就没出来了。对，所以即使过了这么多年，20几年了，那个晚上发生的事情，包含那个声音，我都还记得很清楚。对，一辈子都难忘，真的一辈子都难忘。
Taiwan lies at the junction of 2 tectonic plates, and earthquakes are a part of everyday life here, with more than 2,000 tremors a year. But the widespread destruction more than 2 decades ago, during what is known as the Jiji quake, was a watershed. forcing Taiwan to face up to its earthquake vulnerabilities. The buildings damaged here were transformed into a museum as a reminder of the devastation an earthquake can cause. 23 years after the Jiji quake, and Taiwan has once again been rocked by big tremors, raising concerns over whether the country can avoid another similar catastrophe. After the Jiji quake, 236 schools were deemed unsafe and torn down. Building regulations were reformed, and the date of the quake, September 21st, is now National Disaster Preparedness Day, an annual exercise for Taiwan to stress test its emergency responses.
当我们遇到下一次这么大的一个类似9.11的灾害的时候，我们其实在灾损上面其实可以减少。那而且我们现在有这个地震预警系统，它基本上在我们全台湾的中小学都有建置。那可以提前告诉他们说，在地震来临前的几秒钟，他们可以做什么事情。他们可以先保护自己，可以减少一些受伤。那也许可以度过这个下一次大的灾害。
On a Sunday this month, a 6.8 magnitude earthquake damaged hundreds of schools in Taiwan, raising concerns over student safety had they been at school. For Ms. Huang, who now works in the school ruins turned earthquake museum, preserving what happened in 1999 is also an important part of learning how to deal with the threat of earthquakes.
这个地方没有人死在这里，而且面对这么多人需要推广防灾教育的当下，不需要去拿这些情绪告诉他们有多恐怖。我们保存下来的那些教室，就足够让你知道地震真的很恐怖了。
As Taiwan marks this grim anniversary in the country's history, it is also facing up to the fact that what it dealt with 23 years ago is still a very present danger. James Rayner and Rick Glowett for TaiwanPlus.
Environmental group Greenpeace has criticized a proposed bill to reduce carbon as too vague. Taiwan has a goal of net zero emissions by 2050. The proposed climate change response and carbon reduction draft bill is a key part of that. But Greenpeace Taiwan says the bill fails to define carbon pricing policies or targets. The group says small and medium enterprises have no idea what they're supposed to do or how they should prepare. The Environmental Protection Administration says it will provide more guidance in the future.
每年之后，可能会有数百亿的金钱呢，都是笼在到一个非常巨大的黑箱当中，所有人都会陷在一个碳焦虑这样子的一个氛围当中。
Taiwan's export orders grew in August, beating many analysts' predictions of a contraction. Orders last month grew 2% on the same period last year, driven largely by the rollout of new tech products, including Apple's latest iPhone. Exports are an important driver of Taiwan's economic growth and are watched closely for signs of strength and weakness. Depressed demand in China, Taiwan's largest export market, and global inflation led many economists to predict a fall in export orders for August. The government warned, however, that the economic environment for the remainder of the year remains challenging. A young pangolin rescued from the streets of New Taipei City has settled in at Taiwan's largest zoo. 2 years ago, Nana was found curled up in a pile of wood on the side of a road surrounded by a group of barking dogs. Now in her new home, she has gotten used to zoo life and has overcome the anxiety she used to feel in unfamiliar environments. She can now be found climbing rocks and swimming in her enclosure. The pangolin is an endangered species. They are often poached in parts of Asia, both to eat and for their scales, which are used in traditional Chinese medicine. Zookeepers warn that although there has been a lower threat from poaching in Taiwan in recent years, pangolins are often attacked by cats and dogs. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of the World Tango Finals in Buenos Aires. The event is the first full festival since the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.